think all the taste testing should be on Wednesday.
Okay,
so I can play.
Right, and I'm usually okay with our taste testings. Now, really spicy stuff almost makes me nauseous sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. But this isn't what we're making today. Not spicy at all. So sweet. This may be one of my favorite cookie recipes ever.
It's really, I forgot how good this one was. So I was thinking, okay, what should I make today? And it's hard to believe that the first day of fall already happened and that we're already, you know, almost to October, and our Apples for the Students program at Greer's kicked off, which is our big community outreach that we really love. We're in our 10th year, and it's special to us because it helps every community we serve. We have 29 stores, and we do different things in each community, but this one allows every school, you know, that wants to participate. And they just collect the receipts throughout the year, and then they get a portion of those credits, and they can buy anything that they want. Schools have bought iPads and computers down to any kind of art supplies, you know, sports equipment. So it's a really neat program, and so I was like, oh, apples. And so I was looking on our website, and I remembered these apple pie cookies.
Oh, my
I was telling you, you know, before we have had recipe contests.
Right.
And this was the recipe that won one year. It was 2017, and it was Heather Brown's recipe, and she came on here and cooked, and we made these apple pie cookies, and she's one of our customers over in Robertsdale. And so when I was making them last night, I was like, oh, I forgot how good these were, because it's like a cake cookie.
And they look so soft.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't tried one yet, but you just taste tested one earlier.
I did. You caught me.
Just to make sure it was all right.
Yes, and I ate one without the icing, and it was good. I told you, the kids asked for, they saw the cookies, and I said, okay, I'll pack one in your lunchbox. And then Jack saw it, and he said, where's the icing?
So sad.
It was before I had made the icing. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. You can get one after school with icing.
Will be there after school.
It'll be there after school.
Right.
So they're really easy to make. It's a basic cookie dough recipe. So I have 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter that just came to room temp, and then I just added 3/4 cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of white sugar. And we're just going to cream this together. And if you wouldn't mind,
of course,
I have an egg here. If you wouldn't mind doing 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there with the egg, then that will be the end
Add
of our...
into the egg?
Yes.
Okay.
And then that way, oops, I lost some brown sugar. And then that way we can, after we get this cream together, we can add 1 egg and that 2 teaspoons of vanilla right to this.
Yeah, and it's so, like, there's not a lot of ingredients, only a handful.
No, and the neat thing about it is the apple part comes from, we're actually using apple pie filling today, and it's a cup of that, and just right out of, you know, the pie section at the grocery store with all the fruit fillings. And Heather told me when she was on here cooking, she told me a trick was to cut them up into pieces with scissors. So I know, so I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. Of course, you can put them out on your cutting board and, you know, chop them up.
If you want to be a culinary expert.
Yes.
But if you're a busy mom or dad, just use your scissors.
I know, and I just don't use scissors enough for things. But I was like, here we go. So
it does make it easier.
It does. So we're gonna just add this in, and then we'll get our dry ingredients, you know, ready to go in, and then the apple is the last thing that we're gonna add later.
Yeah. So excited about this, y'all. Again, super easy. You can find the recipe at Greer's, their website, or at fox10tv.com under the Studio 10 tab a little bit later. Joe, I know you're really excited about it too.
You know, they say Greer's is as American as apple pie.
They do say that. That's what I've heard.
And to symbolize that, we've made some miniature apple pie cookies.
Yes, I know. It's so funny because, you know, every time I walk in the studio, y'all say, oh, what are you making? And today I said apple pie cookies, and everyone gasped.
Ooh.
So everyone's excited about these. So I told Chelsea we're making these apple pie cookies, and you remember because you were here. Remember when Heather Brown won our recipe contest and came on and made these apple pie cookies a couple years ago?
I do remember.
I was like, I got to bring these babies back.
Such a great recipe,
Yeah.
y'all, and such a great time with fall too to have something like this.
Yeah, because we're moving into October, and we always like to do pumpkin stuff in October. So I'll be coming up with some pumpkin recipes. So I thought, oh, this will be a good time for apples. So we got our wet ingredients together. We had a stick and a half of softened butter. Then we did some brown sugar, white sugar, an egg, and some vanilla. And now in this bowl, I'm doing our dry ingredients, which was flour. I just added a tablespoon of cornstarch. I have a teaspoon of baking soda, and then I have a dash of nutmeg, some salt, and some cinnamon. So I'm just gonna stir these together and start adding this to our bowl.
Chelsea says she's watching a lot of baking shows lately.
Oh, really?
And then you come on and you do this.
Yeah.
It's like you read her mind.
It is like I read her mind.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Spiro was concerned last night. I don't know where he was coming from, but he said, are you able to do like any kind of scratch baking? Like if something were to ever happen and we were like, I guess like the world was coming to an end or something like that. I was like, you're not going to go hungry. I think you're good. So I don't know where he was coming from with that, but I'm not.
Yeah, studies have statistically shown that in the event of some sort of like global meltdown, apple cookies are what will keep you alive the longest.
Well, I definitely won't be on any baking competition shows, especially for decorating, but no one in my house is going to starve, so at least he, can sleep easy at night knowing that.
All right, so that's a good thing. What's the latest going on with Greer's?
I was telling Chelsea, we are into our 10th year of Apples for the Students,
awesome.
Which we've talked about, some, and that is our school outreach program that allows any school that is in any kind of distance to Greer's that wants to sign up, and they just collect the receipts throughout the year. And it's so great to see these principals and these PTOs and everybody in the schools get behind it, and the people turn in receipts to the schools, and then they're able to purchase any kind of educational equipment and supplies, from footballs to iPads to computers, to books, whatever they need. And it's just something really great that's been so helpful. We shot our commercial for this year down at Cora Castellan in Grand Bay, and they have been one of the top schools that have gotten behind the program, and their principal is committed, and it's just, there's something that they've come to bank on each year, because you're only allowed so much in your budget, of course, and everybody knows schools are, it's just hard to get them funded for what they actually need, and it's been really great for them. And so I thought these apple pie cookies would remind everybody about our Apples for the Students program.
Perfect idea. Cutting up those apples a little bit smaller to dice them up into the cookie batter there. When we come back, we'll continue to work on these and talk more about Greer's in just a little bit. And we need George, our maintenance guy, to test out the cookie dough too.
I'm sure he'll be around.
All right, sounds good, guys.
We are back with Lucy and the cookies.
We have hot cookies.
She just took them out of the oven. And I just told Lucy, my mom texted me a second ago, tell Lucy I want those cookies. So every time you're on the show.
That tray's for her. Okay, you have to take it home for her.
Specifically for you, Mom. But another fun element is the icing, of course.
Yes, absolutely. So I have some cookies that have already cooled off. Right. Here. Of course, those just came out of the oven, and they're not a long bake. I just baked them at 350 for about 13 minutes or so. When they start to brown on the bottom just slightly, you want to take them out because they're going to keep cooking, carryover cooking when they're on the hot tray when you pull them out of the oven. So, try not to cook them too long. But anyway, so we're gonna make our icing, and I started with a cup of powdered sugar, and I'm just gonna do a tablespoon to start out with of milk. Right. And just depending on the weather, and if you kind of heavy-handed on it or whatever, you may need a little more milk. And we're just going to whisk it up until it's, you know, a drizzle consistency.
Right. And I asked you before I knew we were making the icing, how in the world do you make icing? But I feel like this is so easy.
Yeah, this one's so easy, and just a little simple icing that you can drizzle on here. See, you know, 1 tablespoon wasn't enough.
Right.
So I just did another one, and then like I said, you know, just let them cool off, and this icing hardens up, so it'll, you know, attach to the cookies, and you can put on as little or as much as you want. And this is something that's so good, like with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or just something different.
Or 13 of them.
Yeah, just eat them all. Everybody knows I'm a crazy cookie dough fanatic.
Yeah. So you are. When we had that cookie dough, that shot that came on, Lucy got some cookie dough.
Yeah, I'm like obsessed with cookie dough. It's a really weird thing. And so, you know, of course you could eat the dough. I told Spiro last night when I was making these, I got the dough already, and I'm like, all right, now I gotta bake them. So I like to make the dough, but I don't really like to make the cookies.
I know.
So you can do, you know, whatever design you want to do, and you know, so
we do need to talk about Greer's. So you used an apple recipe today, if you're just now tuning in, because you're gearing up for your really cool. You guys do something really cool that gives back to our students right here on the Gulf Coast.
Yes, Apples for the Students is our community service program. That I do like them. Oh, good. I'm so glad you like them. I hope your mom likes them. And Apples for the Students is something that we do that touches all the schools in all of our communities, and we have a lot of information about it on our website, and we've been doing it so many years now that the majority of schools in our areas are signed up, and it's so simple. They just collect receipts, you know, and it doesn't have to be you know, just a student that goes there. So many grandparents, or, you know, aunts and uncles, you know, give the receipts to whichever favorite school they want to give them to, and then the schools collect them, and throughout the year they send them in, and then at the end of the year they get a portion of those receipts, and so then they can shop for whatever it is their schools need. So it's a really neat program, and we love it because it just, you know, connects us to our schools, and of course, you know, everybody knows our younger kids are the future, so we want to make sure they have everything they need.
And that's something that we love about Greer's Markets is because you do give back to our kids right here on the Gulf Coast. So something that we do love. Also, something that I love are these cookies.
I'm glad you like them.
So good. So of course you can find the recipe at fox10tv.com under the Studio 10 tab here in just a bit, but they can find all of your recipes on your website too.
Yep, Greers.com, and they can see all of our videos. And this recipe, like we said, is Heather Brown's, and she was kind enough to share it with us when she won our recipe contest. So give this one a shot. I think everybody will like it.
Heather Brown, thank you for your beautiful creative mind, because these are so good. Joe, no promises that they'll be here when you come back.